Yeah. We popping the tomorrow. Talk it back home one time.
Here today, it's gone tomorrow.
Show 'em how we pop. Bang.
Oh yeah, DJ Cell, let's go.
Here today, it's gone tomorrow.
Christians, you dig? Spitting slow. Ooh, okay.
What's up?
Head honcho, where my gat gon' blow. Consider them smoke rappers heading Fonto. Fuck his fam and his kid, his man's where he live. They don't care about mine when I hear him about to spit. Papa, clipping that 9 underhand, open fist. Then I went at your mind, probably hit you in the lip. Crack a Henny bottle on your head, won't take a sip. Wake you up like damn, son, you was getting whipped here today. Going quick as a flashback from my gun, God save him. I don't wanna take one of your sons, but I'll blaze him. Then I'll be back on the run. Fucking catch me if you can, I'm a gingerbread man, running wild with niggas that keep simmies in their hand, bout to blam on niggas, bump slam on niggas, young killer over, get a cam on these niggas, huh?
Yeah.
They say damn, that boy died with his hand on the trigger.
Fucked up, ain't it?
People, I'm back, live on stage. I've been out for a couple of weeks. People, I've been kind of sick, I've been diagnosed with sleep apnea. So to all you fat ass people that's overweight, and to you slim motherfuckers that snore, that means that your body is not getting its proper oxygenated, as they would say. The doctor said that my fat ass gotta lose weight, I gotta stop smoking, and I gotta stop drinking, because it's fucking up something down here in my throat that, I don't want to die in my sleep. That's the thing. I don't want to die in my sleep. But what's up, people? We did the Black Raspberry Show. We're gonna talk about politics. We're gonna talk about hip hop. We're gonna talk about Donald Trump. Peace, brother Sunez. Donald fucking Trump. I know I said before I like that guy because of the Mike Tyson thing, but I didn't know that Donald Trump was this. Donald Trump, if Donald Trump had those generals, and I know I said this before on the show, if Donald Trump had the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine, and the National Guard to back him, Donald Trump would not step down from office. He would say that I'm gonna be a lifetime president, and he would probably pass that shit down to his fucking kids. And they will probably, it's just crazy. It's crazy. It's really crazy with that. And I think that the people need to get out and vote on this next go round and just get Donald Trump out of the seat. He won the election. We got to get him out. All that Russian collusion shit. The United States always fix elections around the planet for years and put the dictators that they like and the militaries that they like and the monarchies and whatever archy you want to say. The United States put a lot of people in power. So it's like what goes around comes around. In the words of Malcolm X, I guess the chickens has come home to fucking roost. Also, that dude that ran over those people down there in Charlottesville, Virginia, I just looked through the internet. They gave that boy 419 years. And what's crazy about that, Donald Trump could give dude a pardon. Real talk. So it's like that sentence. It's like that sentence ain't gonna mean shit in these next 18 months until Donald Trump get out of office, because it's a possibility that Donald Trump could remove that, stop that man's bid and get him out. The same way with Suge Knight. Donald Trump can overturn Suge Knight's conviction. That's the power of the president. The president could give pardons. I can remember back in the days, I remember when George Bush, when they was talking about when they was bringing all the cocaine in, I guess through LA or whatever like that. And when George Bush took the seat after Ronald Reagan, he was giving out nothing but pardons. That's something that a president can do. He sits as a 4-year king or a 4-year prince or a motherfucker that can do what he fucking want to do, because the president is not going to go to jail, because you know why? When the president steps down, the vice president could give him a fucking pardon. That was the same thing that happened back in the days when Richard Nixon stepped down during the Watergate issue. And what was that dude? Ford. Henry Ford gave him a fucking pardon. So that's that peace sign that he throw up. Power is getting ready to come back on. And this in this last season, and shout out to 50 Cent for having a good show and a great creation, that you got all kinds of people, I guess blacks and whites and Latinos and everybody in between watching that show. And it's like, this is his final season, and I know the viewership is going to be crazy, and it just makes 50 Cent looks like a fucking genius. But I'm going to jump to that Vlad interview. And Vlad was interviewing Irv Gotti. And Irv Gotti, during this interview, with so much conviction, he said, you can't say that God saved 50 Cent when he got shot. He said, what if it was the devil that saved him? And it's like, oh shit. He said that the devil is the orchestrator of chaos. It's like, oh shit. I mean, 50 Cent did do some chaos shit. You know, I mean, it's like, I don't understand. Like, he really blinded the people, and he did the same shit Ja Rule was doing. He was getting on Ja Rule about singing on records and shit, and he turned around, he did the same thing and kind of like fooled the people. But they both good artists. Even Irv Gotti, one of the greatest rap producers that we had in this modern day, because he helped put Def Jam back on the map. Thank God that DMX, you know, after Warren G run, I don't know what was going on with Russell Simmons and them, if they was fucking up that money, but DMX most definitely helped orchestrate to put that money back up, get their money back up, because that's what led when it was DMX, Jay-Z, and Ja Rule, and of course Method Man and Redman. But you know, shout outs to Irv Gotti. What I want to talk about? It was something that I wanted to talk about. I talk about my sleep apnea. Talk about Donald Trump. It was something. Damn, what? It was something that I wanted to say. It was something on. I had posted up on Facebook. You know what? I post so much shit on Facebook. It be so many political things that's going on. This shit with this chick, this soccer lady, that she's white and she's gay, and it's like Donald Trump. I'm gonna go back to Donald Trump. He's just not fucking. He's not having it. You know, whatever what this man politics is, this man does not give a fuck about the Congress. He doesn't give a fuck about the non-justices. It's like it's like he's not a person that's really respecting, I guess, the checks and balances of government. It's like Donald Trump really think that he could do what he want to do, and he can say what he want to say. And it's like, I know that you got your version of keeping it real, but it's like, damn, Trump, you got to somewhat kind of like tone that shit down, man. It's like you yourself, you can create anarchy. And it's like, again, if you had a standing army behind you, and you got all these militias that's out here with these guns, because you got white militias that these motherfuckers is there training and they're practicing for some chaos. It's like, what if Donald Trump was to give pardons to people that's going around shooting people of color? That's something to that's just some scary shit to the shit is scary. Some scary shit. And it's like, you know, I'm a loss for words, because I haven't smoked anything and I'm not drinking tonight. You know, I'm trying to follow the doctor's orders and things like that. It's like, people, you got to get out there and check your health. Dead ass. It's like, you got to go get your blood work. You got to see what's going on in your body if, you know, you want to survive for your kids. Then you got some people that got kids and just don't give a fuck, you know, run in and out of jail. That's neither the case. Or you out here running the streets and you just don't give a fuck, you know. Everybody got their own shit that they go through, but you got to try to do a little bit more better for your babies and shit like that, because they always say that the next generation of people is supposed to be better than, you know, better than us. I want to give a shout out to my moms. You know, just 2 weeks ago, she came back up here from down in the South and came up here to visit us up here. And I was so happy that she made it to my baby's graduation. You know, my baby's going into high school, and I fear for my fucking babies because Brownsville is a shiesty fucking place, and it's like, you just sit there and you just see it, and it's like, damn, I done seen this shit played out so many times, and I done seen so many gangsters and so many this and so many that, and it's like, damn, when is this shit going to come to a stop? And it's like, you know what, life goes on, and the weeds is going to still grow in the garden, you know. And I just really wish the best for my babies, and hope that my babies live a prosperous life, and I hope that everybody else baby live a prosperous life. I want to jump to you know what? Somebody has been on YouTube breaking down Biggie Smalls songs, and it's like, if you're old enough to know, and if you was following the East Coast West Coast thing when it was going on, you knew that Biggie Smalls was getting at Tupac. I think like from Long Kiss to Goodnight, you're nobody to somebody, somebody kills you, Pray for My Downfall. It's a lot of those songs where you got those Tupac things. You know what? It was another interview I seen Danny Boy. Danny Boy said that Faith is actually on All Eyes on Me, and they used Miss Chalet to sing over Faith vocals. Like, yo, he said that you could actually hear her. I'm gonna try to find the song the next time I come up here, because I can't think of the song that's on the All Eyes on Me album. Whatever album that Miss Chalet is doing the vocals, that's the actual song that Faith is on. And they said that Death Row tried to get the clearance from Bad Boy, but P Diddy wasn't, you know, he wasn't trying to have that shit. He wasn't trying to clear no samples for Death Row. You know what? Going through the Vlad interview, it's the dude named Mob James, and Mob James was one of the dudes that was rolling with Suge Knight, and he said that it just was crazy how Suge and the Death Row was making all this money, and motherfuckers was out there putting in that work. They was putting in that work, and it's like, damn, this is a $300 million company, and people was out here doing fucking drive-bys. It's like, look at I don't know, for some reason they just didn't see the bigger picture to longevity. But it's like the dude Mob James said that he was like, yo, Suge Knight was riding in the brand new fucking car, and these motherfuckers are still riding in 6'4s. And he was like, yo, we should have picked up on that shit in the very beginning, that, you know, Suge just wasn't taking care of the people like the way that he should have. How the way Master P, I guess, took care of his peoples in the beginning when No Limit was making its run. You know what? A couple of weeks ago, I was talking about labels, that if you owe a label like Heinz ketchup, when you see the Heinz sign, you know the ketchup. If you see Hellman's, you know the fucking mayonnaise. And there was a couple of record companies that I was mentioning, like Death Row, you know Snoop, Bad Boy, you know Big. But the one record company, a couple of record companies that I know that I didn't, one of the record companies that I know that I didn't mention was Jermaine Dupri, So Def. And what Chris Cross, you know, like a couple of weeks ago, you know, about a month ago, Chi Ali was up here at S.STREET Media, and I had let him know that it's like, wow, I think that fucking what's the name, Chris Cross kind of pity backed. I mean, I don't want to say pity backed it, but it's like when Chi Ali came out, a lot of other groups started to come out. But somebody mentioned and said the group ABC. That was Michael Bivins' group that he had with that song Aisha. But it's like, as far as the rap, it's like really like Chi Ali had like opened up the gate for rappers to be younger. I guess not traditionally 18, 19, 20, but Roxanne Shante, she said that she was 16, you know, when she was rapping. But like, Jermaine Dupri with the So Def movement, you know, with Chris Cross, The Brat, Escape, Jagged Edge, you know, I mean, Jermaine Dupri had, you know, he had his shit and he had his own sound. That, you know, I think that each record label had their own sound that made them so different from everybody else. Like even when No Limit made its Bum Rush, No Limit had its sound. Rather you say Duck Down had its own sound. And I think that when you starting up your production company and you starting your record label, you gotta have Cash Money had their own sound. So it's like, I mean, like you could probably run with the Rush, but I guess you gotta be a little bit different than the Rush. I could say that today's Rush is kind of hard because it's like everything actually sounds the same. It's like I really don't know who's who. And it's like I'm also kind of like 46 years old. So it's like, how am I judging a 20-year-old game now? You know, 18, 19, 20, like I'm old enough to be these kids' father, and if they have children, I'm old enough to be their fucking grandfathers, their children's grandfathers. So it's like I can't really judge. The only thing that I'm going to judge on is to say that make sure that y'all publishing is right, that composition is right, those mechanical rights is right. And I'm just so happy with this Spotify thing and the iTunes thing and the YouTube thing that these children are getting paid. They're getting paid. But pay y'all fucking taxes. Stop flossing that money around. Stop flossing that money around in them videos like that. Make sure that you pay them taxes, because you don't want the IRS on your ass and deducting your money and freezing up your accounts, and you know. You don't want none of that. Let me jump to this show, Animal Kingdom. It's a show on TNT called Animal Kingdom with Ellen Barkin. Ellen Barkin is this pretty lovely white woman that I remember from the 1970s. I think she played in this thing called Police Woman, I think. And she's holding it down. It's like Gemma from Sons of Anarchy. I love you because I love Peggy Bundy. I don't give a fuck. Minister Farrakhan could not tell me shit about you can't love Peggy Bundy. Fuck that. I love Peggy Bundy. I love Katie Seagal. But Ellen Barkin in this show on TNT, very good show. She got a bunch of sons, and they're a bunch of armed fucking robbers, robbing shit, shysting shit. Good show, written very well. And I love when you find you a nice good show that's written very, very well and that can really keep your attention. The other day I was watching this show called Street Smart. It's with Morgan Freeman and Christopher Reeve. And this is the Christopher Reeve that was playing Superman in the 1980s, and I've never seen Christopher Reeve play anything else but Superman. I know that he was in other movies, but this movie, if I guess it was on Showtime or it was on Stars, you know, I had demanded it because there wasn't nothing on, and I just clicked it, and it's like, oh shit, I remember this movie from back in the days. I think this movie came out like 1984, 85, 86, around that time. Excellent fucking movie where Morgan Freeman plays a pimp in Harlem. Excellent movie, and Christopher Reeves plays a news reporter, and you know, it's good. I just love shows that's very well written. It's like, excuse me if I'm jumping from here to here to here to there, you know. But like I said, I just love shows that's written very well. Right quick, let's jump to these NBA trade things that's going on. It's like, I have never seen in the NBA that you had so many different all-stars, or I mean stars of the league that's been moving around to teams. And I can honestly say I think like this year is going to be the year that the NBA, I think the viewership is going to be at an all-time high, because people is going to really want to see the expectation on what the fuck is going on. Like you got Kawhi Leonard and what's the other dude, I can't think of the other dude. No, Paul fucking George. They were out there in LA, and they from out there. And then you got fucking LeBron James and the Davis dude. It's like, damn, it's like the big markets. You got big markets other than fucking New York. I know y'all drafted this dude from Duke. Okay. I know that y'all got some other people there. It's like, damn, New York, why do you keep letting us down? James Dolan, could you please sell the New York Knicks for somebody else can work with the Knicks? New York is supposed to be the mecca of basketball, and it's like, damn, you paying these players all this money, and they are not getting out there on that floor on 34th Street and performing. It's like, you in the biggest market in the world. You should want to get out there and try to play your damn hardest. Like, why you ain't trying to play your hardest? Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets for signing Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, which I know that those Brooklyn Nets tickets, those shits is about to jump up, because I remember one of my friends showed me the price of one of those tickets. Them tickets was $17 fucking. I think just last year, or it was maybe the year before, because nobody wasn't really interested in going to watch the Brooklyn Nets fucking play. It's like, come on now, the fuck. Excuse my French, because I know that my mama's watching. Well, she's going to watch, because I'm gonna tag my mama and my cousins to watch the to watch the show. What's my favorite old movie? I think, the one thing that I love about the old movies, like when you go to like movies like Claudine, you go to Superfly, you go to Black Caesar. I think the music that was done by James Brown and Curtis Mayfield also made the movie classic, and I think it made it classic all the way into these times because of the hip hop sample at the time. Which today, if you try to do a hip hop sample today, you are paying an awful lot of money to sample somebody else's music. But in any case, I think that I was looking at Uptown Saturday Night. No, Let's Do It Again. That's with Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby, and I see that the Staples Sisters did the soundtrack to that right there, and it's like, wow, this music is really funky and functified, and it's really good, because I think that when you're doing a movie, some of the time you need that soundtrack to, I guess, to cover it. Like, I guess that you're not going to worry about having a banging soundtrack if you got banging ass special effects. You're not going to really do that. But I'm going to tell you, the Guardians of the Galaxy, the music that they play, that 70s, early 80s music that they play, it's like, yo, I cannot lie. They play those songs that crossed over all races on the planet. That's the one thing that I love about Guardians of the Galaxy. That dude plays some good. He plays those songs that you would listen to if you was changing your dial to try to get back to 98.7 Kiss. Rest in peace, because ESPN took over that dial. And you going back on up to BLS. It's like anything in between. Those record stations play some of those classic. Some of those classic songs. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's still trying to pursue their dreams. I guess trying to break into the entertainment field. It's just me. I'm kind of tired a little bit, because I've been trying to do this shit a very long time. It's like I'm 46. And I had always had those aspiring, that's the word I'm saying, aspiring dreams to break into the music business. And it's like, the shit just never happened for me. I don't know if it's been my drive, or maybe it's been my laziness. I just don't know. It's like I done had a couple of opportunities to get there, and you just needed somebody to help get to it. But it's like the shit just never... It just never happened. And it's like, I think like the rest of these years of my life, I'm going to do my little bit of things, and, just to do my little bit of things, my little podcast thing, and try to finish up my little writing thing. But it's like, I'm not going to pursue it no more, because I'm kind of tired of it. And it's like, I guess that I try to put that into my baby's hands. I got one son that really likes to, he likes to sing. So it's like, I'm going to focus on my kids. I can't be focusing on no more grown-ass people no more. I'm done with it. You know, I'm just done with it. It's like I was actually thinking that the last two screenplays that I did write, I said that I was gonna put them into a book because I'm getting tired of asking, you know, the people, yo, do you want to shoot this shit? And it's like I'm getting tired of asking. I'm getting tired of asking about it. So it's like I'm just gonna change up the stories again. And I said that the name that I was gonna come up with is Brownsville Ain't Right, and I was gonna make it a nice thick book, get a nice cover, and just call it quits. And you know, I was actually thinking about like shutting down my Facebook page and, you know, a couple of things like shut them down. And you know, I'm getting kind of tired of the social media shit because it's like sometimes you can make comments and people will take that shit just a little bit too literal. It's like, God damn it, that's just too much. Yo, brother Matt, how long have I been on here, brother? 25? What's that? I want to go to some music right now. I think I'm running out of breath, people. Let me find this, so let me cue it up. We could go with this one that's playing.
You all, I don't know what the fuck I said. I'll carry you complain, bro. It's a small world. Everybody fuck with the same girl. The same girl. What's up? We out here, man. This S.STREET. We get money, nigga. Fuck bitches and red lights, nigga. What's up?
A lot of niggas got, letters when they rap and shit. A lot of niggas got A, niggas got O. Fuck it, I'ma go with R. Brownsville music. Stop playing with it. Hey yo, I whip white, my shit tight and Mike fights. Come right to show hits like a young Mike. Make jams like a young Mike. Smooth criminal, still move like a young Mike. What I do might influence a young life. Besides the wrong could stop the good in my son's life. I'm past nice, some of you niggas I'm past twice. Drop the mic, try rapping on a glass pipe. Jack White, no tints, rims, mad right. Straight to the club, we getting ass tonight. VIP, but all the bottles they had for the night. Rose and Goose, we getting mad right. Haters on the floor looking mad tight. Don't hate me, stop complaining, get your cash right. You get fly when you pay the tag price. Ass white, that shit don't add right. Stove on my waist, freeze on my neck, house on my wrist and your bitch on my dick. Stove on my waist, freeze on my neck, house on my wrist and your bitch on my dick. Stove on my waist, freeze on my neck, house on my wrist and your bitch on my dick. Stove on my waist, freeze on my neck, house on my wrist and your bitch on my dick. I need federal to build my federation, so I founded it for the strong foundation. Smoke to clear my mind, that's meditation. Big buds of haze, that's medication. Private islands where I vacation. Lawyers on the payrolls, no incarceration. Lost about 50 on the shaker. Can't break us, we money makers, kitchen bakers. Hit the stash house, weight takers. Fuck no favors, that's what the haters made us. But watch where the haters take us. Rats and pigs, I escape them and shake them. Cut the grass to see the snakes by the face. No case, can't relate, I don't touch weight. Bread by the loaf, I'm not a selfish motherfucker. Feed them all like Jesus at the Last Supper. Stove on my waist, freeze on my neck, house on my wrist and your bitch on my dick. Stove on my waist, freeze on my neck, house on my wrist and your bitch on my dick. Stove on my waist, freeze on my neck, house on my wrist and your bitch on my dick. Stove on my waist, freeze on my neck, house on my wrist and your bitch on my dick. Brownsville.
Never ran, never will.
Brownsville. Brownsville, never ran, never will. Brownsville, never ran, never will. Brownsville, never ran, never will. Brownsville 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 never ran, never will. And yo, I grind like coffee do. In the hood, I got shorties that'll do a couple things for a pair more views. Take all your shoes, nice chains. You know how it feel to back down the dice game. Country in recession, prices still rising. Niggas hungry in the hood, they going back to robbing. They going back to robbing? Yeah, niggas still starving. Crack ain't selling, it's too much garbage. Rap ain't selling, but they still putting out garbage. Recycling trash, making more garbage. I'm here to separate the chargers from the artists. And all y'all niggas out is moving targets. 40 cal in your face like an omelet. Coming to the war, bringing vests, tools, and helmets. Brownsville never ran, never will. 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 Brownsville. And yo, y'all falling, I'm ballin'. Every shot in the net, send a check, I've been the best. Y'all niggas ain't addressed. Men of respect, loyalty in my set. Any nigga disrespecting this life in the death. Yes. Smell of weed in my clothes, on my breath. I be afraid of more trees than an insect. Yes. Mommy like my new whip, she impressed. By the end of the night, I'll be in the dress. Yes. Makeup all smeared here in the mess. She swallowed some and smeared the rest on her breast. Just copped a new K, I don't fuck with text. Haze and black, nigga, I don't smoke cess. A few pills, some yak, I'm a fucking mess. 72 hours still up, no rest. Tell a major I am, nothing less. Billboard certified $1 million, nigga on the press. Never ran, never will. Brownsville never ran, never will. Brownsville never ran, never will. Brownsville.
Second one.
Cover mics, nigga. 03. Yo, I'm back on my grind like I just came home. Hit me everywhere through speakers like cell phone. Speak the life of real niggas putting it in. And I teach the right to niggas who just came in. Somebody tell Bluebird, the Titan is force. I'm like the Statue of Liberty in the middle of the city holding my torch. Shots through your throat, now you rapping with a computer voice. Like he wrote your shit, you just looping the voice. I do things imprudently, I don't move with a choice. I do what I do, my guns prove a point. Grief for copy mills, they gon' find that nigga. Ask around in the hood to tell you I'm that nigga. Y'all niggas is fags, coming in the game trying to be thugs. You see my flag, no I'm not blood, but I G-stack, G-Mac, cousin blood. Put it down with real niggas, watch love is love, bitch. No? See. Hood life, man. No? That's what they sing, you know? All I could do was rely on my gun, you know? Hey yo, twist the backwoods, back in the hood. Even though I told the world, still got crack in the hood. Pump on the black box, and I never was in the park with the jump shot. I was in the dark with the pump shot, waiting for the sun to drop. I stuck up kids with nice rocks while they take it and wear it. I take it and pawn it for trying to shot and snitch and evidence to the crime. My pockets feeling nappy and my face looking hungry. Even though we getting, we still taking money. Load the ace with dummies. Okay, homie, I got gangsta niggas that'll shoot you, wake up for me. You sleeping, wake up, homie. I got a Jacob and Jacob. Yo, well, never sold it to me. I'm dropping where I least expected. Sound east infected, I'm east-west connected. The hood say. Same old song. That's what they sing in the hood. Light your lighter. Catch me on the block, putting the street work. Jeans suit, fitted hat, low blocks, t-shirt. He ain't here no more. The hood says to him, what could I say? He died with his gun spitting. My clique ain't sweet. That was boy, what they sing. Rest in peace, the motherfucking low blocks, you heard? Illest nigga on 2 wheels.
Yo, what's up, people? We back. You know, we just heard those 3 joints from my man Curry Lills. Well, you know, he want to be known as fucking Smacks, but I like my man Curry Lills better than I like Smacks, plain and simple. You just heard Animal in the Sea. You just heard On My, and you just heard Never Rant, Never Will by my man Frankie Smacks, aka Curry Lills. We just was sitting here talking about, you know, New York City just lost one of these real ass gangsters, old school gangsters. His name is Chaz Williams, Black Hand. I had seen a couple of interviews with him. And I even had heard some shit from one of my mans, you know, from one of his other old school mans, you know, one of them niggas that fuck with that dog food and shit. Just talking about, you know, the heist that he pulled off and a lot of the protection that he was doing, because I can remember, you know, looking at those interviews, an interview with when Biggie Smalls and was going out to L.A., he was in the mix going out to L.A., you know, I guess making sure that some people have some kind of safe passage going out to L.A., you know. It's like, you don't know, this man probably was protecting a lot of niggas from a motherfucker like Suge Knight, that you had to come out to LA and pay a Suge Knight tax. But, you know, as they say, real recognized real, or whatever kind of realness, you know, on that level of gangster shit, you know, I'm just a bookworm. So, you know, maybe I should have been a fucking lawyer. And you know what? I'm mad at myself that I didn't go to school to be a lawyer, because I think that I would have been a great fucking legal aid attorney. I would have been a great legal aid attorney to value and to defend the Constitution of, you know, to really defend that Constitution. Not saying that I got 80 fucking cases and it's like, yeah, you need to just go on and cop out to this murder, knowing that this fucking kid didn't do it. You know, the legal aid society is fucked up, and that's just one of the things that I know is that the politicians don't never mention good. They'll mention that housing bullshit, a lot of other things. It's like, but there's a lot of other things that y'all don't attack. And I think like legal aid and fair representation of the people, whether you black or white, is that when you poor, it's just like for some reason you just get pushed under the system. It's like, wow, how the fuck does that happen when most of the people in the United States are not a part of the 1%? You know, that you know, the richness, you know, like it's just kind of it's really crazy with that. The food sucks in the hood. You know, let me get a little political with that. I noticed that when I went to Whole Food the other day and I ate a fucking a turkey wrap, the fucking food digested quick. And I bought 2 of them shits. And them shits was $15 fucking for 2 of them shits. But the whole thing is, it's like, wow, this shit digest in my stomach. It's like, yo, I can actually see why Amazon kicked out $2 or $3 billion fucking dollars and bought Whole Food. And it's like, the meat looks real. The meat looks clean. That if I stick my fucking finger in between the meat, you know, like, you know, shit that your mama taught you when you're going shopping and shit, that you stick your finger, you know, in the smack dead in the middle of the meat, and in the hood the shit is fucking black. And they using red food coloring and then slapping on manager's fucking special. Knowing that this fucking food done passed its shelf date and you repackaging that shit. The politicians in my neighborhood does not talk about it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck no more. I ain't a part of none of the shit that's there no more, because they're not doing nothing. It's like, I don't want to call y'all names out because I have that much respect for y'all. I'm not gonna call y'all names out like that, but y'all are the elected officials. Nikia Samuels and Latrice Walker. It's like, I'm not like just talking about y'all or singling y'all out, but I'm just gonna speak on Brownsville in general, and I'm pretty sure every other hood, every other community is just as the same as mine. Y'all are really not doing shit. I don't see what y'all doing. I really don't. Y'all always keep talking about, as far as Brownsville leads this city and always has led the city with the most shelters. If you, Yo, fuck them niggas from Brownsville. Them niggas is bum ass. You know why it's bum ass? Because you have a lot of shelters. You layer poor people with poor people, and you're gonna have a fucking attitude. You got the have-nots with the have-nots. And that's why it's always been that nasty, grimy, grungy, bum-ass attitude in Brownsville. I don't give a fuck if you from the projects or you coming back on over to the private houses, because a lot of y'all people don't realize that those houses that we lived in was built in the 1920s. And when our parents got into them houses, you think that motherfuckers had money to get a home equity loan at that time? Coming out of the 70s and the 80s in them house, you had to fucking book cover that house, or you better hope that them pipes don't fucking bust. So it's like you always had this grunginess about Brownsville that if you was to look at a recent interview of Mike Tyson, because I seen an interview with Mike Tyson, and I know I said this a couple of podcasts ago, that B Real was interviewing him. The dude from Cypress Hill was interviewing him, and B Real had said, well, you know, Mike, gentrification done changed things. It's like, he like, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm not going back to Brownsville. Brownsville is a horrible place. And it's like, Brownsville moved Mike Tyson in a way that he didn't give a fuck about it, nor did he give a fuck about helping niggas from it, because there's not too many niggas in Brownsville, whether you from the private side, the tenement side, or the projects, that, yo, Mike Tyson did this and Mike Tyson did that. No, Mike Tyson gave out a couple of fucking dollars, gave out a couple of fucking turkeys, and buried a couple of people. I ain't talking about the niggas in the East. I can't vouch for the niggas in the East. I can't vouch for the niggas in the Star. I can't vouch for niggas in Flatbush, because I've heard of stories like Mike bought such and such a crib. Mike bought this nigga 600 bins. Mike gave up this kind of money to get somebody some work. I'm going to say it again. Mike Tyson paid for funerals, gave out a couple of turkeys, and gave out a few punk ass fucking dollars. But it's like, he had something against Brownsville. Well, Brownsville moved him that he just didn't help none of the people that he grew up with. And it's like, a lot of those people that he grew up with, I'm talking about, I know Mike Tyson, not me, but when you hear some of the old school, like, that motherfucker used to pee in my bed. So that means that, damn, Mike was in your house, because I guess his household was kind of fucked up. And some people took a liking to him and put him in there. But, you know, Mike Tyson, that's your money. You spend your money the way that you want to spend it. He was the one that was in that ring getting hit upside your head, and you was going through your shit, and it's like, you know, the hood still love you, the boxing community still loves you, and you definitely made your mark on the planet Earth. You wanna know who fucking Mike Tyson is. You just know. I want to send a shout out to S.STREET Media. It'd be coming up almost a year of me doing the show, and I'm happy that S.STREET Media has given that B Street feeling. Because I remember when I was doing an internship at TVT Records, and I know I said this again at a couple of podcasts ago, and I was looking for the Crush Groove fucking experience. And I mean, for those that you don't know, I'm gonna push Sheila E. ass to the side. I'm talking about the Fat Boys. I'm talking about Run DMC. I'm talking about L Cool J. I'm talking about Curtis Blow. I'm talking about Russell Simmons. I'm talking about even fucking New Edition was actually inside fucking Crush Groove. But like I said, you didn't get the art. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get this. When you look at like the promotion, like this, the Vandal Hour promotion, like that really graffiti, that graffiti feel to it, that NYC feel to it. It's like, I did not get that shit over at TVT. And it's like, damn, if I could put myself in a fucking time warp, I would have come here to do my internship and I would have got that feeling because the dude that hired me, he was a part of a group called 783. His name is Sean Bolden. The 783 used to open up for the Native Tongues. That's De La Soul and Queen Latifah and Moni Love. It's like when the people is just coming into the arena, 783 was opening that show. And it's crazy because Salt and Pepper and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I mean Will Smith and them was fucking with them. That's like that 86, 87, 88, 89 crowd. But I just didn't like that shit working there. And it's like, and look what happened. Yo Gotti blew the fuck up. Pitbull blew the fuck up, and my fucking man, to the window, to the wall. What's his fucking name? Yeah, what's his name? Little fucking John. I want to send a shout out to them because them motherfuckers blew the fuck up and kept going with, I guess, their style of rap. But at that time, it just wasn't my style of rap, you know, which I was in radio promotions, you know, trying to push it out. I guess that when I was sending those email blasts, maybe the email blasts was, you know, I guess really effective down in the South, that it actually worked for them. And I'm happy that, you know, your version of hip hop has worked for y'all, but it just wasn't my appeal to my soul, you know. The money is one thing, of course, you know, you could pay your light bill and you could eat good and eat shrimp and all the other shit, but it just wasn't that, it wasn't that Crush Groove B Street, feel to it, you know. I'm kind of tired. What's up with Brother Seiko? From what I heard, Brother Seiko's supposed to be home today or tomorrow. I don't know, you know. Brother Sake, I think like this one right here, he has remained incognito, and I guess some things, what they say, no news sometimes is good news, and I find out the news when you come knock on my fucking door and all that other shit, and you know, the same third grade shit from back in the days, and you know, that kind of shit. I just wish my man the best because he's actually a good I always say this, he's actually a good human being. And I can't vouch for Brownsville on what Reggie T has done to Brownsville, but he has always been good to me. So it's like, when people be like, yo, how do you fuck with him like that? It's like, the relationship that he got in the street, the decent world, the crit world, that's not my world. It's like, we're going to always be those childhood friends, me being in the third grade, him in the fourth grade, him checking my work. Even my last student stint at Brooklyn College that ended in 2016, before he went and did that last bit. Yo, Reg, kid, come here and read this thesis paper. And I would get tight like, damn, this motherfucker finding errors in my fucking writing and shit. And it's like, damn, he dead to right. You need to redo this and, make it sound like that. So he was a very smart, educated brother, and it's fucked up when you look at where the origins of where the Decepticons started at. For the shit to start at Brooklyn Tech High School, that is some crazy shit. Where my friend could have been an engineer, and my friend could have been a mathematician, but the hood just straight shit. We all got our choices and shit, but sometimes that road can just lead just so far over that you can't really get, I guess, back onto the highway. But you can make a change, and this is for every human being. Until you get to that grave, you still got a chance to do whatever you want to do. You don't gotta live your life with a heroin needle. You don't have to live your life through snorting shit through a pipe, whether it's crack cocaine, crystal meth. It's like, do you give a fuck about your life? It's like, I know that you want that feeling of euphoria, I guess, heavenly feeling, but you just can't get you can't give up. Even if, you say that you giving up or you don't give a fuck. It's like, would you if you had kids, would you die in front of your child? You know, and it's kind of fucked up when I heard the story with the old dirty bastard and his son saying that, what was your last memory of your dad? He said, the last memory of my dad got high in front of me. It's like, I could see you got high in the room and then you walked out, but not getting high in front of your child like that. And then you die. It's like, damn, you didn't think about what kind of memory you're gonna leave your baby and shit like that. You know, that's with anybody. You know, like, give a fuck a little bit. You know, just have some gives a fuck. You got some people that's just so far off with their shit. You know, give a fuck a little bit. Black Raspberry, you know, Black Raspberry Radio, but Black Raspberry the script, you know, it's some kinks that I'm still trying to work with and do it, but it just kind of hurt that I didn't really get. And it's like I just said, it's not too late to do it, but it's just that you wanted certain people to do it because it feels right. Like, if you can get this motherfucker to do it, it would just be right. It's about that person, but it's like, you can't force nobody to give a fuck about your idea if they don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I wrote a movie about you, and you know what I'm saying, I want you in it. If they're not feeling that shit, like, what the fuck are you gonna do? I can't keep pressing that issue like that yo, I need you to be in here and I need you to be in that, and I wrote about this guy who rides bikes, and you know, you're not really getting the hood behind you to do it because, you know, maybe you're not that dude. And it's like, I said, you know what? Let me just change the stories. Let me take a person off the bike, put him in a car, and just let me just take whatever I wrote and just put out my second book, because my first book is emotional